Okay, geometry students, hopefully your quiz went well. So you should have turned your quiz in, and now you should be listening to this video. We will have a test next week. I'm not sure what day yet, but keep that in mind. Turn in yesterday's homework, please. Jake and Jason. Now, Jason, you're probably not here. Jake, you need to turn your homework in. The reason I'm not asking for Azus or Martins or Haley's is because, Haley, you emailed me and I told you everything you need to turn in, so you should be familiar with that. Let's see. Azu and Martin, you turned yours in already. You turned it in ahead of time. This is yesterday's homework, and you two finished it in class and turned it in. Jake, you need to turn yours in now. This is homework from yesterday, Thursday. Okay, lesson 8.4. Now, Jake, I did email your parents. I did not get Wednesday's homework from you, and that was lesson 8.3. Now, you didn't have to finish it, but you had to turn in what you did so I could give you credit for it, okay? So I never got your Wednesday's homework, lesson 8.3. I need it turned in as soon as possible, okay? And then lastly, if you don't finish this video in class, it is required that you finish it over the weekend. Nothing wrong with me having you do that. That's called homework, and you're going to have a small assignment at the end of this video with about 15 problems, but it's actually really easy math, so it will not take you long at all. So if you don't finish this video in class, you need to finish it and then also do the homework over the weekend, okay? All right, let's go ahead and keep moving. We've been studying lately how to find the area of certain polygons. Let's quickly review. No need for you to write this down unless you want to, but I'm just going to kind of go through this. Area of a rectangle is length times width. Area of a rectangle, length times width. Area of a square is side times side. So if you have a square, you take one side times one side, or you could just say side squared if you wanted to. Side times side. Area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. And so, of course, it looked like this. All right. We've also studied how to find the sum of the interior angles of a convex polygon. If it's a 7-sided convex polygon, it has 7 sides. Then where the n is, you put a 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 times 180 is 900. And so the sum of the interior angles of a 7-sided convex polygon is 900 degrees. And also we've learned that the sum of the exterior angles of a convex polygon, I don't care how many sides it has, that doesn't matter, the sum of the exterior angles is always 360 degrees. Always 360 degrees. Now today we are going to learn how to find the area of 2 more polygons, parallelograms and rhombi. Rhombi is plural for rhombus, okay? So again, we are going to learn how to find the area of 2 more polygons, parallelograms and rhombi. Let me get a drink here. And let's continue on. Please copy this in your notes. Area of parallelograms and rhombi, lesson 8.5, and the date. I encourage you to keep track of this. You don't have to, but I encourage you to. The date today is the 7th. The date today is the 7th. Area of parallelograms and rhombi, lesson 8.5, and today is the 7th. Again, you know how I roll. I go fast. Pause the video when you need to. Let's start off by looking at parallelograms. Here is the formula for finding the area of a parallelogram. Area equals base times height. Pretty easy, huh? That's it. I mean, area equals base times height. Base times height. Base times height. So if I ask you to find the area of a parallelogram, all that you have to know is the base and the height. That's it. Let me quickly explain how we get this formula. You don't need to write this part down here, just watch, okay? Here's a parallelogram. Everybody sees that right here? Typical parallelogram. I'm going to kind of trace it here. There's my parallelogram. All right? Now, let's say I took a pair of scissors and I cut right here on the parallelogram, and I cut this piece off right here. Okay? Let's say I cut this piece off right here. And I picked it up and I moved it. Now there was a piece that was supposed to go with this. Is it still here? I think I accidentally erased that. I didn't mean to. That's fine. Let's say I picked up this piece right here and I moved it. Let me slide this over. And I moved it right here. There. And then of course I drew a line down like this. Look what I have. I have a rectangle. I have a rectangle. And so really a parallelogram has the same area as a rectangle. Now some of you might understand that, some of you might not. Either way is fine. You can just use the formula and you'll be fine. But a parallelogram has the same area as a rectangle, and that's why we just use the base and the height. If we know the base and the height of a parallelogram, that's like taking length times width. Then we can find the area of a parallelogram. Now some of you understood that and some of you didn't, but all of us can memorize this formula. That's easy. How do you find the area of a parallelogram? Base times height. Base times height. So let's go ahead and practice. Copy this in your notes. I would like you to find the area of this parallelogram. All right? Well, area equals, when you're dealing with a parallelogram, base times height. Now, obviously, your base is right here, 15, so that's obvious. And 9 would not be your height. Remember when we dealt with triangles yesterday or a couple days ago, whenever it was, the height is a line that goes from the top of the triangle or the top of the parallelogram, and it comes straight down in such a way that it forms a right angle. And I should have had a right angle marked there. I didn't. That's my fault. Go ahead and draw one in your notes there. 8 is your height. 9 is not. 8 is your height. Okay? So I know the base of the parallelogram is 15 times, I know the height is 8, and so when I multiply those two together, I'm going to get 120, and I guess we'll call it just square units, since we were not given a unit of feet, inches, yards, meters, or whatever. Okay, so there's the area. 120 square units. Okay, area of a parallelogram. Let's try another one. Please copy this in your notes. I want you to find the area of the parallelogram. Copy this in your notes. Again, I go fast, so you'll have to pause the video some, and that's fine. I'm going to outline the parallelogram right here. Alright, there's my parallelogram. Do they give us the base of the parallelogram? Yes, our base is 9 meters. Do they give us the height, how high it is, from the top down to the bottom so that it forms a right angle with a horizontal? Yes, right here. Here's your height. It's a line that goes from the top of the parallelogram straight down so that it forms a right angle with the horizontal. So yes, we do have the height. So we have the base and the height. So our area of the parallelogram is going to be base times the height, and that's going to give us 54 meters squared. 9 times 6 is 54. So you just found the area of a parallelogram. All right, let's try something else. Here's a parallelogram. What if I give you the area, and I want you to find the height? I've given you the area. I want you to find the height. Okay? So let's find the height of this parallelogram. Now, I know the base. Here's my parallelogram right here. Here's my base. My base all the way across is 12. Here's my height right here, and I do not know what it is, so I'm going to call that h. And here's my area. So let's use our same formula. Area equals base times height. So for area, for A, I'm going to put 48. For B, I'm going to put 12. And for H, I'm going to put H. Pretty simple, guys. For area, I substitute 48. For base, I substitute 12. For H, I put H. And now we're very simply going to divide both sides by 12. These cancel. 48 divided by 12 is 4. 4 is your height. All right? 4 is your height. All right, let's try one where we have to find the base. All right, let's find the base. I've given you the area. Here's your parallelogram. I'm going to trace it for you or outline it for you. Here's your parallelogram right here. It's in blue. There's your parallelogram. And I'm giving you the area. The area is 30. I'm giving you the height. Here's the height right here. It's the line that starts at the top of the parallelogram and goes straight down in such a way that it forms a right angle with the horizontal. So you have the area and you have the height, and they want us to find the base. All right, so we're going to use our formula we've been using. Area of a parallelogram equals base times height. For area, I'm going to substitute 30. For base, I'm going to leave that a b, and for my height, I'm going to put a 5. Now you should know that b times 5 is the same thing as 5 times b. All right, so 30 equals 5b. Now we're going to divide both sides by 5. These cancel, and 6 equals b. 6 equals b. So we found the base. All right. Here we were given the area of a parallelogram, we were given the height, and we found the base. In the previous problem, we were given the area of the parallelogram, and we were given the base, and we found the height. And then before that, we just found the area of a parallelogram. All right? So we're going to use that formula a lot. Now let's study how to find the area of a rhombus. Okay? So we learned how to find the area of a parallelogram. Now let's study how to find the area of a rhombus. Here's the formula. A equals 1/2 times D1 times D2. And we'll talk about that in just a second, what the D stand for, okay? Okay, are you ready? Let's write that down. The formula for finding the area of a rhombus is area equals 1/2 times D subscript 1 times D subscript 2. And the D's stand for the diagonals, okay? The diagonals. That's what D stands for. Okay? So this is a pretty simple formula. You're just multiplying three numbers together. 1/2 times the length of one diagonal times the length of the other diagonal. So here we go. Let me demonstrate how this formula works. Are you ready? Copy this in your notes, and let's take some really good notes here. Let's see if we can't figure this out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put marks here. I should have done this already. Here, here, and here. Now we know we have a rhombus, because the definition of a rhombus is a four-sided polygon with all four sides congruent. Okay, and so there's my rhombus. Now, in order for us to find the area of this rhombus, we need two things. 1/2 times we need to know the length of one diagonal, and we need to know the length of the other diagonal. Now remember, diagonals are drawn inside like this. So there's one diagonal, a little crooked, but it's okay. So there's one diagonal, and here's the other diagonal right here. Now, man, I wish I knew the measurements or how long these diagonals were. If I just knew how long those diagonals were, I could find the area. Well, hold it. Look outside the rhombus here. Don't you see they tell you that the length of this line from here to here is what? 14? Well, that means the length of this line here, my diagonal, all the way down to here, has a length of how much? 14. Sure. So one of my diagonals is 14. Do you see that okay? Now look here. See this measurement down here? From this point here to this point here, I know that we have a measurement of 10 inches. So if from here to here is 10 inches, then also that means from here to here is also 10 inches. So now I know the length of the other diagonal. The other diagonal is 10. So I'm ready to find the area. Area equals 1/2 times one diagonal. It doesn't matter which diagonal you put in first, times the other diagonal. And if you type all that in correctly into your calculator, you will get 70 inches squared. Students, that's all there is to it. You take one diagonal times the other diagonal times 1/2, and you'll get the correct answer. It's just not that hard, okay? All right, let's try one more, and then we're finished, and you'll get to work on your homework. I told you the video was not long today. That's why I gave you a quiz, notes, and homework, okay? All right, let's find the area of the rhombus. Let's find the area of the rhombus. So here we go. In order to find the area of a rhombus, the formula I need is 1/2 times one of the diagonals times another diagonal. So here we go. First of all, if from here to here is 6, and then from here to here is 6, I know the length of one whole diagonal is 12. And then if from here to here is 9, and from here all the way over to here is 9, then 9 plus 9 is 18. The other diagonal must have a measurement of 18. All right, so we're going to take 1/2 times 12 times 18. 1/2 times 12 times 18, and you should get 108 meters squared. 108 meters squared. All right, so that's how you find the area of a rhombus. So real quick review. Area of a parallelogram is simply base times height. Area of a rhombus is simply 1/2 times one diagonal times the other diagonal. And that's it. And by the way, I could very quickly prove to you how we do that. Well, that's a really good rhombus, isn't it? And when I say really quick, I can do it in just a second here. I'm going to have a really good day today drawing. There we go, there we go, there we go, and there we go. If you were to take your rhombus and draw an imaginary line here, your diagonal, and then the other diagonal here, how would you find the area of this triangle here? It'd be 1/2 base times height plus 1/2 base times height plus 1/2 base times height plus 1/2 base times height, because you'll find the area of one triangle, two triangles, three triangles, four triangles, and then factor out a 1/2, and you're left with your base. If you factor a 1/2 out, you're going to be left with BH plus BH plus BH plus BH. And if you did all your work, it would simplify down to this formula here. So if that makes sense, fine. If not, fine. But the main thing you can do is you can memorize these formulas and use them. Okay? So here's your homework. I want you to get started now in class until the bell rings. So if the bell is not rung, please get started. Page 442, numbers 8 through 13 all, 18 through 20 all, 23 through 28, or 23 through 38 all. Now I don't think that's right there. I don't think that's supposed to be 23 through 38. I think it's supposed to be 23 through 28. Okay, so let's fix that right now for you guys. 23 through 28. Okay, so there's your homework. Please get started, and here's the video to help you. Now listen to me. I don't think you should watch this video right here, this one, until you've done all your homework first. I'm telling you, some of you are getting so used to just turning the video on and copying the homework down, you're not learning anything, and you are hurting yourself. And if you don't pass the class, guys, that is your job to pass the class. I'm here to teach you and to help you, but you've got to do the studying and you've got to do the learning. So if I were you, I would not watch the video, this video right here, the homework video, until I had first done all the problems I could possibly do, find all my questions, and then watch the video to either A, show you what the answers to the evens are so you can check your answers, or B, get help on the ones you can't figure out. That's my advice to you. Now remember something, now listen to me, this right here, this video right here that I'm underlining, this video is from last year. Now this video I've underlined, this is a video right here. This video is from last year. Last year. So please ignore anything it says about tests coming up or quizzes coming up or homework coming up. Just ignore all of that. The only reason you're watching this video that I'm circling right here, the only reason you're watching it is so that you can see how to work out homework problems, okay? So please keep that in mind, okay? Call or email if you have any questions. We will have a test next week, and hope you guys have a good weekend.